welcome you to the second edition of our demo bank. In this video, we are going to be looking into the backend. Of course, in our previous video, we handled all the details about the front end. We did all the templates and the views that are going to handle these templates right here, as you can see here. So in this edition, we are going to look into the front end, the back end. Of course, if you go to our bank right here, you can see all the pages are working. And if you recall, we used HTMX to navigate between the login and the register, and that's one of the essence of using HTMX, so that we can prevent excessive reloading of the page. So we want to load every page asynchronously, and that is why we are using the HTMX. If you come right here and say create account, you can see it is still on the register page. Now later on, we are going to be talking about how to integrate Google login or Apple login or Facebook login and all that. But for now, we're going to stick to the basic authentication. Now remember, we are doing this using Google Anti-Gravity IDE and Google Stitch. Now, Google Stitch is done with its own job because we are done with the designs. Okay, so with the design we have right now, the Google Anti-Gravity, we know what to do with that design. So we don't need to do anything again with Google Stitch, but with the anti-gravity. So let's go to our anti-gravity. So this is the anti-gravity, and right here we are still on the planning mode, and then as you can see, we have exceeded our weekly limit on the free tie of these AI models, like the Claude Sonnet 4.5, the Claude Sonnet Opus, and other ones. We have exceeded our weekly threshold. So, but we can still use the Gemini 3 Pro, and we can also use the Gemini Flash. That's Gemini 3 Flash, and both of them are very good. I've used them. They are very, very wonderful. So let's use the Google Gemini 3 Pro, the high version. So let's go there. So we have selected that. So right now, what we will do first for this is going to be the basic authentications. So let's do the basic authentications, that is the login, the register pages. Okay, so let's do that. So let's tell it to do that. All right, so look at the prompt I gave it right now. I said do the backend for the login and register pages. Remember to use HTMX so that we can prevent frequent reloading in the browser. So you can give it anything, just understand what you are doing and know what you want to do at a given time. That's why I said before you can use AI or vibe coding stuffs, you need to have your hands on that framework. You need to understand what that technology is all about, all the nooks and crannies of the technology. In fact, you must have done these things on your own. Maybe do like up to 5 projects, 10 projects, so that you understand the basic concept of what you are actually doing. So that when you give these prompts to the AI, you already understand what the prompt is going to do or what the AI is going to do. So when the AI returns something that is not exactly what you wanted, you would know, and then you would know how to correct it on your own or even give it another prompt to correct it. So it's very important. Now let's go on with this. Let's see what we are going to have in the result. Right now, our AI is thinking and it is analyzing all we have. As you can see right here, it is analyzing the views.py, which is the most important part of the templates, because this is where the logic happens. All right, so it's going to analyze it, and then before it sees what to do with that. Now we have the tags. So the tags is backend implementation for login and register with HTMX. Now these are the tags: analyze existing template to understand form field and structure. Again, is to check for custom user model and authentication settings, create detailed implementation, implement register view backend, and all that. So there are a lot of things that we can see here, but at the end of it, you can see we have update template, and is going to be using doing this add hx post. Like I said before, if you want to use htmx, you are basically going to be seeing like something like hs post, hs get. These are the method, the http methods, which you can implement directly into your HTML without writing any JavaScript at all. I'm going to do a dedicated video on Django with HTMX so that you can get your hands dirty building real projects without AI. For this particular video, we are going to be doing this alongside the AI. So the AI is going to help us do most of the heavy liftings while we do the fine tuning and some of the touches, finishing touches in the code. But in the next video I'm going to be doing after this banking project, we are going to focus mainly on how to understand these concepts. So if you want to understand Django very well, I have a video in my playlist. If you go to my channel, if you come down to my channel, there is a playlist I have on Django, and that playlist is very, very simple for a beginner. So go there, subscribe to my channel, and watch those videos. Thank you. So let's proceed. So you can see right here we have an implementation plan. So this implementation plan says the goal. Okay, so you can read the goal. It says to implement functionality for login and register pages using HTMX to prevent full page reload while supporting the existing design, which uses email-based login and simplified registration form, which is going to take full name and email. Now if you come down, you see details about this. I'm not going to be reading all these things. I can simply just accept this thing and tell it to do what? Continue. So let's tell it to continue. Now it is going to continue with this implementation plan and make sure that it did exactly what you have in the implementation plan. And if you want to understand this clearly, we can simply come down to the views, because that's where everything happens, right? So if you go to the views, we don't, okay, this is the login and this is the register. So let's wait for it. The code is going to arrive very soon. Just like I was saying, the code is going to arrive very soon. So this is the code. So right here you see this is basic authentication login, and if you look at this, what we have here is that we created a form.py right here, and this form.py has the register form and the login form. So this is the register form, and then down here this is the login form, right? So the login form has email with these attributes. The attributes have to contain something like the class, the placeholders, the ID, or whatever utility classes you are going to basically use to style up that particular form element. That is the attributes that you are seeing right here. Okay, so this is for the password, and then this is where we clean this data before we save it. Now we are now referring to this form right here, and we are saying that if the request method is post, then we are going to store that login form as form, and then if this form is valid, then what do? We take the form and store it as user, and then we do what? We save this form and return what? HTTP response. So this is going to redirect us to the dashboard. That is, if this is successful. Else it is going to take us back to the login form. Now this is very straightforward, and that's, if you come here, then if that is not the case, then it takes us back to the form, and that form is going to be in the what? In the login page. Now if we come to the register again, you are going to see something similar, but I'm going to just click on accept all, right? And let's accept it, and we are done with the tags. As you can see, all the tags are already marked. Now let's go to the browser. Let us refresh this so that we are sure that everything is working perfectly. Now let us try to create an account. I'm going to use Nico or Louis Chris. Okay, so let's use Louis Chris Christopher. All right, for the email we are going to use Louis Chris. For the password, let's put some password. Now let us click on create account and see what happens. So there is an issue. The create account, even though I have clicked on it, it doesn't seem to redirect us to the dashboard page, or maybe tell us that our action is successful or not successful. It is not actually responding. So let's look at the server, right? So let's come here, and you can see when you look at the server, you will see the error. So the server says that we have operational error, no such table. So this is very simple. It means that we have not done our migration. So we are going to close this server with Ctrl C and run python manage.py make migrations. Okay, so make migrations, press enter. So there is no migration that is detected. Then we're going to do the same thing, python manage.py migrate, so that we can migrate this database. So let's see what happens. So this database is now being migrated. So we are done migrating the database. Let us run the server again, python manage.py run server. So the server is running again. Now let us try this one more time. You can see it is logging us into the dashboard without refreshing the page. I'm going to try logging out. So I am out right now. So let's try logging in again with Louis Chris and the password, just to test the login. So we have done this register, which works. So let's see the login. And you can notice there is no page reload here, so it is working perfectly. So let's now come back to the dashboard. All right, so you can see everything was working perfectly. We have post requests, get requests, get requests, post requests, get requests. So everything is working really fine. Okay, so let us go and work on the dashboard, right? So we need to secure this dashboard, because right now I think unauthorized users can actually have access to this dashboard, because if you go to our views right here, you can see account details are not secure. Unauthorized users can see these pages. So what we need to do right now, even the dashboard itself can still be accessed by unauthorized user, because we are not securing it with something like the mixing, that's the at login required. Because if you use at login required mixing, this is going to prevent unauthorized access into these pages. So let's get on with that. So we are going to focus on the dashboard for now. So let's give this AI a prompt. All right, so this is the prompt. So I said I gave it this prompt: secure all internal pages and make sure that you show the username or full name of the authenticated user. So this is how I am giving it the prompt. So you can see you are not basically giving it all prompt. Some people will just come and say, build a banking website for me, and the AI will just make decision from beginning to the end. That is going to make that app vulnerable, because you are not actually monitoring it. But right here, you are following it step by step, just as you would have done it yourself. If you are to do these things yourself, you are supposed to be taking the features one after the other. So the same process that you are following, you have you would have followed if you were to build it by yourself, is same thing you are going to do, so that you can easily monitor the features that you are having right here. So let's send this out. Now, as this is running in the background, I am going to just commit this. Let's commit it as login and register done. Right, then commit, save, sync it direct to GitHub. So while it is being synced to GitHub, we can come back to this one, to the what the AI has given to us. So it has made an implementation plan again. So access control would have logout, try to access dashboard, expected redirect, and all that. So everything is working. This is not actually what I wanted. um okay, yeah, at login required, you can see it right here. So let me open this one. At login required, it says I have created a plan to secure plan and all that. I will protect all the banking functionality features with feature view with at login required. So unauthenticated users are redirected to the login. Please review. So that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to just say yes, continue, and this is going to do it exactly as I want it to. So you can see it is just like it is reading my mind, right? Just like if you are working, you should have been working with maybe a product designer or maybe a project manager who would supersede or oversee to your actions, whatever you are doing. So this person is going to be like monitoring it, telling you, okay, this is exactly what I want you to do. This is exactly what I want you to do. So the same thing is what you are doing. You are just like that product manager who is going to sorry, project manager, not product manager, project manager, who is going to always see to the project, okay, that the project is delivered, is done, every part of this project is done accordingly. So that's your job, right? So right now it has done that. Let me close all these ones. I don't want to have everything right here. So let's come back here. Now, if we go back to the views, you can see that right now we now have from django.contrib.auth.decorators import login required. And then with login required, we have secured the dashboard. So unauthorized users that are not logged in cannot access this page. And so is the account detail, the card management, transaction history, and all other internal pages. Now, right now, since this is done perfectly, so what we are going to do next is to make sure that we have a model. Now, this model is going to take all the data about this bank, right? So we already have user, and the user we are actually making use of is the default user model, or the default abstract user model. Let's check from the form. So from the form, what we have is the user. You can see, so we are using the default Django user model, which made it that even in our models, we don't have anything right here. So, but what we are going to do right here, since we are using that user model, we need to import that user model so that we can use them as foreign key in all other models. But we are not going to be doing this manually. So we are going to also let the AI do it for us. So we are going to just give it this prompt. Okay, so this is the prompt. Now generate appropriate models that best fits the project. Make sure it covers all features we have in the templates. Remember that this is a bank. Now, I am just being as blunt as possible. Now, I don't want to start generating them one after the other for the model, because I don't want a situation whereby I am going to exceed the number of free ties I may have in this Gemini 3 Pro. So I am trying to reduce the number of prompts that I'm giving to it. So there are some places where you just give it straightforward. So like here, after it has done its job right here, I am going to come and review it. Then I'll now know if it gave me exactly what I wanted, and then we move forward. But if it didn't, we'll continue to give it the prompt. So it's better we do it this way. So let's go on. All right, so it has made implementation plan. Let's see. Okay, so from this implementation plan, from what I can see, um, it says implement the core data model for banking application based on the feature and data displayed in the UI template. This includes accounts, transaction, credit card, and loan. All right, so that's exactly what I want. And it says account number, account balance. These are going to be under the account model. So we have account number, account balance, account type, and the account status. So then for the transaction, we have amount, description, transaction type, status, date, reference ID, and category. So this reference ID is just for tracking, and the status is just to know whether the transaction is successful or pending or failed, right? Then the credit card. Then this is the account link to the credit card, the card number, the cardholder's name, the expiry date, the CVV, the card type, the if the card is virtual or physical card, which is virtual, which we are going to use boolean right here if it is true or false. Then card status, card spending limit, and the amount spent on the card. Then the loan. All right, so this is exactly what I want. So let's just say continue. So continue. Let's see what this is going to do for us. So let's see the model. So if you watch closely, you're going to see the models this thing is going to create for us. Okay, so you can see a lot of changes are being done, but let's just look at the one it has already created for us. For the account, you can see the account. We have checking account and we have savings account. So we can change this to current account, domiciliary account, or any other type of account. So, but this is a demo bank, right? So we don't have to, do so much complex stuff, because this could even serve like an MVP, right? It can serve like an MVP. So let's not waste much time right here. Okay. Now for this transaction, we are tracking the deposit, the withdrawal, the transfers, the payments, and the subscriptions. These are what we are tracking down in the transaction. We are looking for their status. Once they are completed, we know they are completed. Once they are pending, we can also track them if they are failed. And these are the some of the details. So right here you can see we are using foreign key for the user, right? So we imported it from the django.contrib.auth.models right here, and we are using it as a foreign key so that we can know who owns this particular account. So that's very important. And for the account number, we are having 20 digits, right? Maximum length for the account number is 20. Account balance is going to be a maximum digit of 12 with 2 decimal places, and it's going to have a default balance of 0.00 in the account. Then account type, this is where we get the type from this place, right? Okay, then account choice and all that. Transaction. So let's just see. Let's do this. We need to make this migration and migrate, right? So let's close the server. So to end this server, we use Control C, and we are going to use python manage.py make migrations, and this is going to make this migration. So I think it has done the migration for us automatically. So let's do python manage.py migrate and see. So there is no migration, which means it has already done that migration for us. So if you go to the SQLite, because we have not created the super admin, but we are going to do that right now. So but if you go to the database, which is the db.sqlite, you are going to see some of these things that we just created. This is the loan, credit card, core account, and all that. So it has been added to our database. So before anything, I'm going to create a super user, right? So right here, I'm going to create a super user. So we are going to use python manage.py create super user. So this create super user, let's use prof rishi, and then prof rishi at gmail.com, and then test. So this has created the super user. So let's now run our server. Our server is running perfectly right now. Let's check the super admin, which is going to be /admin, and we are going to log in with the admin, which is for Freeshy. Now we have logged in into the admin, and you can see we have the accounts, credit cards, loan, transactions. Let's see the accounts. And right now in the account, we don't have any account so far. So which is a problem, right? Because whenever a user creates an account, we are expected to make sure that they have an automatic account number assigned to them. We don't have to create it ourselves. So we need to tell it to do that for us. And so let's do that right here. I'm going to close this one. First, let's delete the user we've created before now. So I'm going to delete this one, which is the Louis Chris, so that we can use it once more. So let's delete it. Right, so we have deleted it from this system. So we need to now give it this prompt. For the account number, when user registers, it should assign a 12-digit account number automatically to them. Right, so let's send this. All right, so here we have the task. So the task is to create detailed implementation plan, modify the models.py. So we need to modify that models.py and then make a post save signal. So we need to create signals.py or even do that directly in the model. But the best way to do that is to create it as a separate file, which is signals.py. And then from there, you can implement these things on save. Once the user is created, it triggers the action immediately, right? But it can still be done within the models. So let's tell it. So it says, I have created a plan to automatically do that. So let's tell it continue. So it is going to go ahead and do that from beginning to the end. So let's wait and see what it does for us. So it has modified the models. You can really see it is doing a lot of job. Let's continue. I I even doubt if we are going to finish this thing in this video, but I'm going to do my best to see that we finish this in this particular video. Please guys, if you are still here with me up to this moment, it actually means you are interested in this video or in most of my videos. So consider subscribing. Okay, subscribe, like the video, and use the comment section to ask your questions. If there is any question at all, I want to interact with you in the comment section. Share the video to your friends so that they can see how easy it is to build softwares right now. In fact, 21st century is one of the greatest gifts to mankind, because right in this era, everything is easy. This is the information age, right? And in the information age, ignorance is a choice, right? So, and I would like you to help others, even as I also help you by bringing this knowledge to you. So consider subscribing. Let's proceed. So it has, I think it has done everything for us. Let's just try this one more time. I don't know if it has done the migration stuff, but there is a test author field, which means that it has tested this thing automatically for us. So let's see if there is an account number. So this is an account number created for that test. So I think we should create, or rather, let's use the Microsoft Edge browser, and we are going to use this to create an account, right? So let's open this um, site, and then we are going to use that Lewis Chris again. So Louis Christopher, and then let's use this as the create account. You can see no reload of page. So we are now in, and you can see it tells us this is Louis Christopher, and not much right now, but let's go to the admin page and refresh, and you can see that Louis Chris has been assigned with an account number of this. So everything is working perfectly. All right, the next thing I think we should do is the card, right? So the card has been already done for us. So we need to just pick the user and assign a card to them. And that is when they make card requests, right? They need to make card requests, and then you approve these card requests, and the card number is going to be automatically generated. That's the card details, right? So let us see the loans, and here in the loan you can track the user, the loan, home, author, loan type, right, amount, remaining term. So everything is perfect as I would want it. Now is time to go back into this page, and we really need to do something in the dashboard. So let's come back and tell it to do this. Now add these data to the dashboard page accordingly. Make sure you also show the user's account number there. So let's go. What is the problem? It says, okay, so I think it is still loading something. Let's wait for it. Okay, so it has proceeded. Now let's wait for it. I'm going to close all these ones. And remember, whenever you are done with anyone, always close it up. All right, so a lot of changes are being made. So let's wait for the complete change to happen. The only thing you have to do is just read and monitor what it is doing. Right here, you can see it's running some commands right here, and I'm going to just accept. Now, your own might require you to always run the command. You may see the command always popping up. But in my own anti-gravity setting, I did it that whenever it needed my attention, it does it automatically. So that's how I set my own anti-gravity. But your own can still, you can follow it manually like that. So let's see what the dashboard will look like right now. All right, so you can see there is no much change. There is no much change. We only have zero right here, and the income, the expenses, and all that. Checking balance is still zero. The savings balance, all these things are supposed to be worked on, right? And this is my account number. You can see it is not fully showing right here. Let's see. Okay, sorry, let's see from here and see what it will look like. So this is the account number and all that. So we need to tell it to do a lot of things, because there are a lot of things it needs to be done right here. So we have to be explicit with it. So then this is the next prompt I'm giving to it. Change your static data in the dashboard page and replace them with actual data like account balance, account number, account type, etc. Let's see. Now remember, you can still use your microphone right from here. But I personally decided not to use them. Use the microphone because of the web token, right? I don't want to exceed my token as quickly as possible. So, but if you have the money, you can pay for a pro version. But I'm using this particular account with free version so that I can show you that there is no limitation to what you can still do with anti-gravity free tie. Okay, the free tie can still give you exactly the same professionalism you would get, but the only thing is the access to different models, right? So maybe you prefer Claude Sonnet, Claude Opus, and all that. So, but if you want to use the free mode, you can still use it perfectly without any problem. All right, so I think it is done. Let us see what it came up with. All right, so everything is working perfectly. So the only problem I am having right now is this income, the expenses, right? The savings, the credit card, and all that. So I will also tell it to do the same thing for them, for the income, the expenses, and all that. So I'm going to tell it to remove income and expenses and replace it with the account number. Now let us give it this final prompt for the dashboard. Remove the income and expenses in the dashboard page and replace them with account number. On the account card, on the your accounts card, remove all the static data, because if you look at here, we have the your account section, and this is all the cards. So we can remove all these static files, static data right here. That's what we want. And then we can remove all this and replace it with account number, right? So let's go back there and let's wait. Let's hope that it has done exactly what we wanted. So let's see. In fact, let's test it from the user account directly. Okay, so you can see it has done exactly what we told it to do. So this is our account number. This is the account balance for this particular account number, and I think this account number is checking account number, so we can actually make a readjustment in the registration page where the user is going to like pick the type of account they want, and then from there we can actually know which account number. So I'm going to leave that for you to do by yourself. Let it be like your exercise, your assignment. So if you are able to do that, I would like to see it. If you complete that, you can use the comment section to tell me that you have done it. I am going to give you access to my contact directly, so you can contact me and I see it if there is any corrections to be done or to assist you in any other thing. I will gladly do that at no cost. All right, so make sure you are participating. All right, so the dashboard is okay right now, so we can do the accounts, the accounts. So let's do the accounts, the transaction. Or so what I'm going to actually do right here in the accounts page is very simple.